Good morning, sir. My name is Kamna Prabhakar. My GD topic is phytoremediation. So, phytoremediation basically refers to the use of plants and associated soil microbes to reduce the concentration or toxic effects to contaminants in the environment. So, we can say that phytoremediation is the process which involves the use of plants to extract and remove an elemental pollutants or lower their bioavailability in soil. Second point is phytoremediation is widely accepted as a cost-effective environmental restoration technology. So by this point we can say that it is very cheap and does not harm our environment. Phyto means plants, remedium means restoring balance. So phytoremediation consists of mitigating pollutants, concentrations in contaminated soil, water, pesticides, solvents, explosives, crude oil and its derivatives, and various other contaminants from the media that contain them. So here mitigating means reduction of pollutants and media like soil, water. Now applications of phytoremediation. There are three applications. First is heavy metal removal, third is removal of fly ash, third is landfills. So heavy metal removal, most of the plant species have the ability to mobilize metals. Conventional techniques are used, but they have their own advantages. Phytoremediation is the best alternative and it is cost effective and environment friendly. Uh, Immobilized metal, like we can take example of immobilized metal in case of plants, like that is mercury, cadmium, arsenic, chromium, thallium and lead. They are heavy metals. Second is removal of fly ash. Thermal power plants produce a large amount of coal fly ash. Phytoremediation is practical and cheap way for revegetation of fly ash dump sites. Landfills. Phytoremediation technique use trees to remediate the contaminants on landfill sites. So, phytoremediation techniques. There are 5 techniques. First is phytoextraction, second is phytostabilization, third is phytodegradation, fourth is phytovolatilization, fifth is rhizofiltration. Now, the first application is phytoextraction. It is uses plants to collect metals. It involves root uptake of metals and their migration from the xylem to the shoots and leaves. These are then harvested and removed from the site. So, the absorption of nutrients occur in plant is by their root hairs, because root hairs have larger surface area, and then from root they are transported throughout the plant body. Second is phytostabilization. This approach uses plant roots to restrict contaminant in the soil through absorption. The main purpose, uh, the main purpose of phytostabilization is to detain the contaminants in the rhizosphere. It means that it is a process through which a root cannot absorb contaminant or harmful substances, toxic substances that are present in the soil and that are harmful for plant growth. Third is phytodegradation. This approach uses plants to absorb the breakdown the pollutants. The pollutants convert inert substances that release into the air. Enzymes are used in the process are oxygenase, dehydrogenase to convert pollutants into nutrients for plants. In this process, pollutants are converted into nutrients for plants by enzymes. Enzymes are oxygenase, dehydrogenase. Now, phytovolatilization. This technique uses green plants to absorb contaminants from polluted sites. It converts them into volatile compounds. Phytovolatilization uses plants for contaminants like mercury. Rhizofiltration. This technique is the combination of phytoextraction and phytostabilization. This procedure involves absorption, concentration and precipitation of contaminant in wastewater and surface water. In this two processes or techniques are involved, that are phyto extraction and phytostabilization, the combination of two processes or techniques. So as we can see in this diagram, different techniques are there. So there is a phytoextraction, phytodegradation, vasofiltration, phytostabilization, phytodegradation, phytovolatilization. Now there is a table. So by this table we can clearly understand the techniques that occurs in phytoremediation. First technique is phytoextraction. Contaminants are inorganic compounds like radionuclides and metals. Media is soil, sediment, sludge. Plants used Alyssum brassica tapti sunflower. Remarks: process of uptake of contaminants into plant roots by accumulation or harvestable shoots. Now, rasofiltration. Contaminants are inorganic pollutants like metals and radionuclides like cesium, lead. Media is groundwater, surface water, wastewater. Plant used Ecornia lamna. Processes involves removal of contaminants through plant roots. Phytovolatilization. Organic, inorganic contaminants, cesium, mercury, arsenic. Media is soil and sediments. Plants use poplar fragments. Processes done by volatilization of contaminants by leaves. Fourth is phytostabilization. Metals are arsenic, cadmium, chromium, copper, lead, zinc. Media, soil, sediment, sludge. Plant use sunflower, chenopodium. Process involves stabilization of contaminants by binding and exploration. Fifth is rhizodegradation or phytodegradation. Organic contaminants like aromatic, aliphatic, and petroleum hydrocarbon, chlorinated solvents, TNT, pesticides. Media is soil, sediment, sludge. Plant use grasses, alfalfa hybrid, poplar, brassica, typha, Latropha, cassia. Processes microbial degradation in the rhizosphere stimulated by the plants. Now, the advantages of phytoremediation: budget friendly and minimum equipment is required, very less labor cost and reduces operational costs, aesthetic friendly and supported by the community, reduces soil erosion, reduces leaching and spread of toxicants. Now, disadvantages of phytoremediation: long term low performance, incomplete removal of pollutants, requires proper disposal of plant matter, effectiveness gets affected by seasonal factors, risk of bioaccumulation of pollutants in the food chain. So by this we can conclude about phytoremediation. So there are some conclusions. First is phytoremediation is the one of the method which can be used to remedy soil problems in order to achieve sustainable soil. Like remedy means in treatment or cure the soil problem in order to achieve suitable or sustainable soil. Second is phytoremediation has many different forms which will suit different kind of soil problems. So that means phytoremediation as many techniques as we discussed earlier, like phytoextraction, rhizofiltration, phytodegradation, etc., which can suit or solve different types of soil problems. Third is sustainable soil is very important for the growth of living organisms. Sustainable soil or suitable soil that is suitable for the plant growth. Now, so this is it in my topic. Thank you. Have a nice day.